If you're shipping goods internationally, one document is almost always required: the commercial invoice. In this video, I'll explain exactly what a commercial invoice is, what information it must contain, and what common mistakes to avoid to prevent customs delays. What is a commercial invoice? Let's start with a clear definition. A commercial invoice is a legal export document used in international shipping. It describes the goods being shipped, their value, and the agreed terms of sale between the exporter and the importer. Customs authorities use this document to calculate duties and taxes and to determine whether the shipment complies with import regulations. In simple terms, if goods are crossing an international border, customs need to know what the goods are, how much they are worth, and who is responsible for paying any import charges. The commercial invoice provides that information. If any of that information is missing or incorrect, the shipment may be delayed, inspected more closely, or even returned. Key commercial invoice elements. Now let's look at the essential elements that must appear on a commercial invoice. First, the seller's full legal name and address must be included. This identifies the exporter of the goods. Second, the buyer or consignee details must be clearly stated. These details should match the shipping information exactly. Next is a detailed item description. This is one of the most important parts of the invoice. Descriptions must be specific and accurate. For example, instead of writing clothing, it's better to state men's cotton t-shirts, 100% cotton. Vague descriptions increase the likelihood of customs inspections. Another required element is the harmonized system code. The HS code is an internationally standardized classification number used to identify products in global trade. It determines how goods are categorized for customs purposes and affects the calculation of duties and taxes. You must also include the country of origin. This refers to where the goods were manufactured, not where they are being shipped from. The invoice must clearly state the declared value and currency. This should reflect the actual transaction value, the price paid or payable for the goods. Customs authorities use this value to assess duties and taxes. The selected Incoterm must also appear on the invoice. Incoterms define the responsibilities between buyer and seller, including who pays for shipping, insurance, duties, and taxes. The Incoterm on the invoice must match the actual shipping agreement. Other required details include the invoice number, issue date, quantity of goods, gross and net weight, reason for export such as sell, gift, sample, or return, and finally, the signature and date from the exporter or authorized representative. Constraints and exceptions. Now let's go over some important constraints and exceptions. Underdeclaring the value of goods can result in penalties, fines, or seizure of the shipment. Customs authorities may reassess the declared value if they suspect undervaluation. Vague or incomplete descriptions increase the risk of inspections and delays. The Incoterm must correctly reflect who is responsible for paying duties and taxes. If the Incoterm and the declared responsibilities do not match, customs clearance may be delayed. Before shipping, always verify that the information on the commercial invoice matches the shipping label and any transport documents. Consistency is critical for smooth customs clearance. This may apply to restricted, regulated, or controlled items. In those cases, the commercial invoice alone is not sufficient. It's also important to note that commercial invoices are generally not required for domestic shipments within the same customs territory. For example, shipments within the European Union usually do not require customs documentation, though invoices may still be needed for accounting or VAT purposes. Summary. To summarize, a commercial invoice is one of the most important documents in international shipping. It declares what is being shipped, how much it is worth, and who is responsible for import charges. Accurate, complete information reduces the risk of customs delays and penalties. If you're shipping internationally, always ensure your commercial invoice is clear, detailed, and consistent with your shipping documents. That's everything you need to know about commercial invoices. For more details on customs and shipping documentation, see the links in the description. Thanks for watching!